no matter how many times we talk about it isn't about the tools, conversations with prospects always go to the tools. And the reality is that we in tech have grown to tell me how the tool works, what it does, what the mechanics are. I want to make sure we're picking the right tool. And what we really need to back up to is it really isn't about the tool. There's, 4,000 security vendors out there, and each of them has varying scales of good, bad, or ugly. The approach really should be to make sure that you have the layers of controls, and there should be due diligence gone into selecting those tools. That doesn't have to be you internally. If you have a partner that does that due diligence and is picking the right tools and they have a track record of showing they can do that well, have some faith in that partner and put trust in that partner. But inspect that the results are there. Inspect that when you're getting your reports and your data that things are being blocked, that they're identifying things. Those are all the layers of things to think about as you're thinking about a solution. The challenge to the complexity to what we just described is if you go and try to implement that 5 layers of security that I discussed, and there may be many more layers, but we just covered 5. And when I say there's so many other things we can do to better protect our environment depending on the type of business we're in. But to implement those 5 could take a long time with tool selection, evaluations, implementation. We've seen companies that are on a multi-year journey to achieve what I just described.
And they're not the size of MGM.
They're not the size of MGM. And we're not talking, we've seen customers in the 50 to 100 seats that are struggling with picking the tools and making it cost effective, mostly because the vendors don't think about those guys. They think about MGM. So they don't make it cost effective for the smaller companies. They have minimums that make it hard to onboard the right tools. So you have to settle for tools that do support the small ecosystem. On the flip side, we see companies that are, 100 to 1,000 seats that are on this multi-year journey, and they pick a tool and they start implementing it. And by the time they get to the next layer, that first tool is no longer effective, and they have to now evaluate a new set of tools. And they don't work well together, or the tool they pick for layer 2 conflicts with the tool for layer 1. So there's so many moving parts to making it happen that delays and prevents. And in the meantime, hackers sit inside networks for 200 days on average, figuring out where your crown jewels are. I heard a report the other day that it's now 300 days on average, not 200. So think about somebody sitting in your network for a year and looking at where your systems are, what they are, where your good data is. So it's the complexities prevent us from keeping up with the hackers. So what can someone do? I mean, the simplest answer, and again, this is the bias of somebody who built this infrastructure, find somebody who did what we did. We have the 5 layers of security can be implemented in your environment with a 30-day onboarding guarantee. In 30 days, you have those 5 layers of security, and you're now being protected against what's in the market. We have customers who insurance has come back with 200-300 questionnaires, and they turn around, they're like, what do we do? And we're like, send us the questionnaire, and it's check all the way down. And we knock out 90% of those, and some of them are HR, people process type stuff that we can't touch, but the technology controls are all checked with very little effort.